Yo, did you guys see that about Terra? Real talk. I got kind of sad when I read that, man. Yeah, here, we can read it. The adventure ends. Hello, Terra players. Unfortunately, we come bearing bad news. Terra's developers, Bluehole, have decided to cease work on Terra. After much consideration, the team in South Korea have come to the conclusion that they are no longer able to offer you the exciting and satisfying content you deserve. As the last remaining publisher of Terra, it is with a heavy heart that we must respect Bluehole's decision and will also have to shut down the game. The Terra servers will be switched off at 10 a.m. CST on June 30th, 2022. Until then, we'll be running some permanent events in the hope that you'll at least be able to enjoy these final months in Arborea. After nearly 10 long years, the Terra legend must sadly come to an end. Together, we braved so many of Arborea's perils, fought valiantly against the Argons. Dude, I remember the Argon Queen. That was one of the best dungeons I've ever done. Made many new friends and gone on countless adventures. We would like to thank you for your loyalty, for accompanying us on this long journey, and for being such an amazing community. For more details regarding Terra's shutdown, please visit our FAQ. Our days in Arborea may be numbered, but the next adventure is just over the horizon. We hope to see you again soon in one of our other games. Until then, the Terra team. Dude, this is like legit sad though, man. We joke about games dying a lot, but man, when they actually do, like, okay, Terra was very special to me. I'm not sure if I ever would have met Marlby. So let me tell you a story. I met Snuggle in Terra, and I met Marlby through Snuggle because when me and her quit playing Terra, we started to play Final Fantasy 14, and Snuggle joined Marlby's group and they needed a DPS. She asked me if I wanted to play DPS for them, and I said yeah, and that's when I met Marlby. I have a lot of good memories in Terra, man. Slayer was the best DPS class I've ever played in any game, in any MMO before. Slayer was my favorite DPS class. Slayer was so fucking badass. Yo, I played in Amani Slayer. It was a fast job that could teleport around the arena, and it wore leather armor, and it had a great sword. So anyway, Manana's core, or fuck, well, we called it Manana's core, but it was called like Manaya's core. Dude, that was like one of the coolest rooms, man. Hold on, let me see. I want to show you guys what the room looked like. Yeah, I don't think I can show you guys the room. It was basically one of the coolest looking rooms, man. Care, we can look at the boss fight, but this was one of the coolest dungeons, man. It had two phases. You had to fight her in the pod. You had to fight her in this pod. And there was all these ads. And then after you DPS the pod, she had all these AoEs and shit you had to dodge too. And after you DPS the pod, dude, would be phase 2. This was the real fight. Man, this video kind of sucks, man. Okay, this video is a lot better. All right. See her like climbing around, dude. Oh, man. So this was a really good fight. Yeah, anyway, she had like a bunch of mechanics and shit. It was a really hard fight. It was very challenging. Everything she did was a one-shot. Dude, she had this debuff mechanic where you had to take a different color debuff and like the different like, dude, it was just a really good fight. It was just a really good fight. Anyway, yeah, man. So let's see the FAQ. When will GameForge stop servicing Terra? New Terra account registrations and the ability to purchase Terra thalers will be deactivated on the 31st. Terra Club purchases will also be deactivated. All Terra servers will be deactivated on 30th of June. Why is Terra shutting down? After careful deliberations, the developers of Terra have unfortunately taken the difficult decision to end development of the game, as they feel that they are no longer able to provide the satisfying content Terra players deserve. Instead, they would like to focus their internal development efforts on other projects. GameForge has happily hosted a great community in Terra for almost 10 years now and would have happily served players even longer, but without the support of the developers, this is not feasible. Will there be any kind of migration option for players? What will happen to our accounts? As Terra will be shut down globally on PC, no migration option exists. Your Terra thalers can still be spent until the servers are shut down. Will there be any refunds or purchases? Oh, we already know the answer to that. No. There will be no refunds on purchases that have already been made, but players are able to spend their remaining Terra thalers in the shop until the servers are shut down. For Terra Club members that have long-term membership running beyond 30th, please contact our payment support team after the shutdown for a partial refund. What about my GameForge account? You will still be able to use GameForge account to play other GameForge games. Nas Tale, Swords of Legends. You know, man, I had fun with Swords of Legends. I did. Even after the Terra server shut down the 30th of June. What will happen to the forum and the Terra social media channels? All Terra channels, including the website, forum, and all social media pages will close shortly after the service. Oh my God. dude, it's just gonna be deleted like it never happened. This is kind of sad, man. This kind of goes back to whenever people are like, you know, like how many people are excited for Pantheon or Ashes of Creation? I mean, I plan to play both of them. I plan to try. But people often ask the question, well, how long is it gonna last? My question to that question is, why does it matter? And normally people are like, oh, well, I'm not gonna play a game that's gonna die after a year. Well, you do know a year is a lot of time in a video game. Like it can be a lot of time. So like, let's say that, yeah, the game is gonna die after a year, but you have a ton of fun. Isn't that fun worth your time? Basically, these people with this mentality, they're just like, I'd rather try and search for this golden egg of games, you know? It doesn't exist because there's no game that's gonna be perfect. Like there are these people that are salty about, you know, Final Fantasy 14, for example. They're like, I hate healing, so I'm not gonna play it. I hate that I can't do the new Ultimate, so I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna go play something else, or I'm not gonna play anything at all. So basically, instead of like trying to better yourself in this game, you're just gonna spend that time being a salty bitch. These people's mentality, I think, comes from frustration. And I think it's a bad mentality to have. When I played TERA, I knew it was gonna die eventually. I knew I was gonna stop playing it eventually, but that didn't stop me from playing it. I still had a ridiculous amount of fun playing it. And the reason why I knew it was gonna die, this was gonna be the fate of it, is because I played Ion. And that's just all Korean MMOs. Just because I knew the game wasn't gonna last forever, that's not gonna stop me from having fun. When I play Final Fantasy, for example, I don't think to myself, man, in 10 years, I'm not gonna play this game anymore. Why would I ever think about that? That's a waste of time. Like, I just think about current patch and the next couple patches, maybe the next expansion. I just gauge it from there. Even if a game is gonna die after a year, you can still have a lot of fun in that year. Back when I played Guild Wars 2, I knew almost right away that game wasn't going to be a permanent game for me because that game, it has way too much horizontal progression. It doesn't come out with content very often. Guild Wars 2 is not like a main game. It's not the game you play all the time. I mean, to some people, yeah, sure, but to a lot of people, it's not. You always go back to it. It's a game where you can go back to. I knew that going into it. But for those of you that play Guild Wars 2, right? Do you regret the time that you played it? Because I don't. I still had a lot of fun, man. The Lost City of Ara was so fucking badass, man. It was such a cool dungeon, man. It was so cool. There were other cool dungeons too, but the Lost City of Ara, man, it was so badass, man. And I love the enemies. I love the areas, like the world map and stuff. You know, there's a lot of good memories. I have no opinion on Guild Wars 2 now. Like, I know they just came out with an expansion and hopefully it was good and all that. I'm not trying to say it's bad now. I'm just trying to say that I don't play it anymore because for me, it's definitely a side game. It's not a main game. With all that being said, I feel like that people's mentality on upcoming MMOs and stuff like that, they're looking for something that just can't exist. And that is the perfect MMO. It's not going to happen. These people are looking for an MMO that's going to cater to both hardcore and casual and always come out with content all the time. And it's never going to be boring and it's always going to be good. And that's not going to exist. We kind of meme on it a lot. You know, we joke about it a lot about like games shutting down and stuff. It's kind of sad when they actually do, man. At least I think so. I had a lot of good memories with this game. I mean, yeah, it went in the shitter. I'm not trying to say this game was great. I'm not trying to say this game is amazing. But yeah, I mean, obviously it went in the shitter, you know, it's pay to win as fuck. You know all that. I'm not disputing that. But like, man, like I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, dude, I met so many cool people playing this game. I had so many awesome open world PvP battles playing this game. The Argon Queen was one of the coolest dungeons that I've ever done. One of the hardest dungeons I've ever done. You know, in TERA, I learned how to be a better player and it's just going to be all deleted. June 30th, it's all gone. How many of you played WoW during Wrath of the Lich King? That was a banger expansion, right? What if all of that Blizzard stuff actually made them shut down the server? Actually killed WoW? Like, what if it killed WoW? Wouldn't you guys think back to your time? And like, wouldn't that make you sad? The game, you know, you had so much fun with, it's gonna be deleted on the 30th of June. Every single memory you have is gonna be wiped from the internet. Well, you know what I mean, as far as like from the company, like this, like the social media, the forums, you know, the game, you know. I guess my point here, what I'm trying to make is we joke about it a lot, but man, like when it happens, it's kind of sad, dude. Feels bad. You know, dicks out for TERA.